What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Alliance War season. This is Ardenal 7. This is Season 50, War number 1. We have a brand new tactic and excited to get into that this season. First war is LVT versus Chaos. I have 5 fights. I am bringing Moleman, Hulkling, and Odin for pre-fights. I'm taking Path 4 in Section 1, Path 7 in Section 2, and Node 46 Onslaught. Alright, first up is Moleman versus Invisible Woman on Node 4. That is the first fight on Path 4 in Section 1. My Moleman is rank 3, and he is also a tactic attacker. Invisible Woman is a tactic defender as well. Moleman is just absolutely insane for this tactic so far. Really, the trick with a lot of his fights is to just make sure that you get that first clarity before you enter into Frenzy. Sometimes that window is a little tight if you're using a PS1, but by the time I even get into Frenzy, drop my SP2, Invisible Woman's already dead. Alright, next up is Hulkling versus Peni Parker on Node 11. That's the second fight on Path 4 in Section 1. I do swap over to Cosmic Boost here. Hulkling is not a tactic attacker, and Peni is a tactic defender. But for the most part, Hulkling still counters the vast majority of her kit. He does not have an answer for the evade, so we'll just kind of play around that a little bit. So my goal here is to get to my SP2 and to throw it while she is in the auto block phase. So here she's in the evade phase. I think I do hit her and trigger the evade yet. So I went to hit her block and it even triggered it. So here I'm at my SP2. I'm going to let this tick over to the auto block phase. And she's got a brand new sync shield. So I'm just going to hit into block to take that down. I'm going to get my unblockable, and then I will drop a big fat SP2. I do have power back boost. They don't quite get me back to my SP2. Maybe with, suicides, I definitely would have been there, but no big deal. We're back to the SP2 again here. She is in the evade phase. I'm just going to bait this SP1, wait this out. She is going to get another sync shield again, but we are back in the auto block phase and dropping another big SP2. And I probably could have just comboed there. I was unblockable. But all good. So just get some more hits into the block, drop another SP2, and she is done. All right, into Section 2, I have Path 7. First up is Mr. Negative on Node 25. Mr. Negative is a tactic defender, but Moleman is still just going to counter everything he's got here. So this node does have knockdown protection, so the very first thing I'm going to do is throw a heavy. He does invert the controls there, but I just wait that out. I do trigger Frenzy here right at the start, and I do not have clarity. So, in the future, I need to just make sure I get to clarity before I trigger that Frenzy, just so he doesn't auto-block or doesn't evade or anything. And now Frenzy is on cooldown, and I've got a whole lot of power. Ideally, I would just drop this SP2 here, watching this back, but I go to SP3 instead. All good. The SP3 is going to do okay damage. I'm going to get 10 more Monster Mass coming out of it. And then as soon as that Frenzy timer is down, we will just be able to finish the fight at that point. So we do have clarity. So happy to just go straight into Frenzy. No issues there. I'm just going to bait that SP2. All good. So there we are into Frenzy. And the guaranteed crits and the bleeds just melt them. All right, next up is Attuma on Node 34. This is the second fight on Path 7 in Section 2. And for this, I will be using Hulkling. So we swap back over to Cosmic Boost, just double checking that I'm recording there. All good. So the game plan here is to just rinse SP2s. And for that, I'll be using the Cosmic Boost and a PS1. Him being unblockable, not a big deal. Really, I'm just going to hit into his block or bait his SP1. So no big deal. The damage back does a little bit, but we're obviously winning this health race. Nothing that a few potions can't fix here. So drop the second SP2 and he is dead. And my last fight this war is Onslaught on Node 46. I got plenty of practice dexing Onslaught's SP1 in the recent Spring of Sorrow event, so I am very comfortable fighting Onslaught now. Hulkling's a great counter for him. Basically, we just don't want him throwing anything but his SP1s, and I'm going to be rinsing my SP2s. So I do believe I have half suicides on for this fight. And once we get to that SP2, it's just going to be SP2, and just make sure that he's dead. So the first hit does go into block, but eventually get the unblockable. All good. I'm not quite back to the SP2, but we'll just bait an SP1 and reset, start over. Nice little SP1 decks, and now we're hitting into block again. And one more hit into block, and drop another SP2. I'm trying to just be careful, be a little patient, let him throw that SP1 if he wants. There it is. And another SP1 dex. And one more SP2 will finish this fight. So get a couple more block hits in, and this is nice and safe. So my first time taking Onslaught in War, but as I said, got a lot of practice recently. All right, so that is it for War number 1. Season 50 is upon us, and we didn't get a ton of practice in the off season, so these fights were really my first time facing the tactic with meaningful matchups. There are plenty of non-tactic attackers who are viable this meta. I think this meta is going to be a little bit easier than what we've seen recently, which means lower death counts, and there's a lot of room for LVT to sharpen up through the first couple wars. But looking forward to the season, looking forward to you joining me here. Thank you.